It's been a minute since I've done the drive time videos. It's been a minute. Been missing it. But Hustler Mindset HMS 58. The meek will not inherit the earth. This video is prompted by the conversation I had with one of my clients. And essentially, his wife hates me. And he told me this, and sometimes when we're on the phone and everything, she's in the background. I don't know why you are listening to him, blah, 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 blah. Now, I want you to understand, this guy is, he's been a long-time client, and since we've been doing our thing, he's doubled his income. Now, I want you to listen to that. He's doubled his income, and the wife is unhappy. Now, why would a wife be unhappy if a man doubles his income? I'm gonna give you a little bit more backstory. He was inspired to start working out. He lost 30 pounds. He lost weight. He's doubled his income. He's looking good. He's making money, and the wife is unhappy. You know why? Because he's getting ready to leave her ass. He has not told me this, and just, for GP, I never would ever recommend anyone to leave their wife. That's not my business. I don't get into that. But I made the assertion pretty much around our third conversation because, he was just explaining home life. Because, during the consults, people vent sometimes. They talk about life, all kinds of things. And, I was like, if dude becomes successful, that wife has an expiration date. And that just popped in my head. I did not tell him. I don't bring it up. I've actually urged couples to stay together because I don't sleep in that bed. Well, we're talking and she's in the background and everything. And he told me something when she left the room, that he got a storage unit and it was a big lick. He told me he expects to make about 20, 30 grand from the unit and it only cost him $800. And he did not tell her. And I put this question to him. I said, why didn't you tell your wife? And he just kind of sighed and he said, "This is a long story," and I let it go. But the reason the wife doesn't like me is because of my philosophy. Because one time they were both on the conversation. If you're married, I do encourage you to bring your wife, girlfriend, if you've got that kind of relationship, into the situation, because you're going to be working a lot and it's just going to be easier for the relationship to thrive. Actually, it's grow stronger if you two are working together. But if you're not, Splitsville is pretty imminent, because that's just endemic of the entrepreneur lifestyle if your wife is not really in there with you. So she just was, she's a Jesus freak, and she said, you're talking about capitalism, you're talking about this, and she just said the meek will inherit the earth. And I didn't say anything because based on where I sit, the meek are getting fucked left and right. And if you go through history, that has been the case since day one. I mean, seriously, the dinosaurs were eating the little dinosaurs. Then that big ass meteor came by and said, "Booyah!" I'm sorry. Big fish eats little fish. Big dog bites little dog. Big snake eats little snake. Crocodile, eats any and everything. So, I got hands free. I'm not holding the camera, but okay, the light. I had to make sure I can go through the light. But essentially, she said that, and we had a few words about that, and she was giving me her take on it, and I gave her my take, because the meek will not inherit the earth. If anything, the meek are going to go through this meat grinder of technology, displacement, and other things that are happening. I saw a comment in response to a video I put up about what type of hustler you are, and someone said everyone's not trying to get rich, and this is my opinion on that. If you're not trying to get rich, you're stupid as fuck, and this is why. The older you become, the more money you're going to need to have a decent lifestyle. Getting rich, to me, and part of getting rich is not about money. There's the richness of a mindset. There's the richness of freedom. I have a lot of freedom. To me, that's worth more than money. But if you're not trying to get rich, you are going to get fucked. And let's define trying to get rich. Rich is a perspective-based situation. A guy making $30,000 a year thinks a guy making 100 grand is rich. A guy making 100 grand a year thinks a guy that makes 250 is rich. A guy that makes 500,000 a year thinks a guy making $1 million is rich. The guy making $1 million thinks the guy that's making 10 million is rich. It's very, very relative to where you are, what your experience level is, and where you are in life. So don't get all twisted that I'm saying you got to make 10 million by the time you're 60. No. If you can do these 3 things, I can assure you your life will be lovely. Number 1, stay out of debt. Number 2, if you own a house, get that bitch paid off. 3, buy cars as rare as hell. Get a car, hold on to it. Those things will put money in your pocket and enable you to build something that most people don't have. It's called a net worth. Average American net worth is a negative 30,000. Most people don't have net worth. They have liabilities. And if you think your house is net worth and you've got a mortgage on it, I'm going to give you this simple equation. If it's on the bank's balance sheet, it can't be on yours. And if you don't believe me, look it up. That's all I got to say. Look it up. So, getting rich is not a bad thing. Striving to make more money is not a bad thing. This whole bullshit, namby-pamby, the Meek have been getting fucked and will continue to get fucked by the big penis in the sky, because one of the reasons that the Meek are in that situation is because they don't learn. This is not evaluation on are you a good person or a bad person. It has nothing to do with it. I know great people who are poor as shit, and I know evil folks who are poor as shit. I know great folks who are rich, and I know great folks who are broke. Your personal net worth to the world in terms of personality and charitable contributions and helping your fellow man out, that doesn't mean a damn thing once you understand how universals and immutable laws in the universe work. That's why evil ass people are rich and living in a nice neighborhood, because they thought they can do whatever the hell they did to get to that net worth. Whereas poor people are saying shit like this: I'm waiting on Jesus. I'm putting it in the Lord's hands. Okay, I know I just pissed off a lot of people with that. But I will tell you, as a child, I didn't believe in that. And I was brought up in Mount Zion Baptist Church. At one point was going to Carmel Baptist. It is not, that's going to kill you. Because you got to understand, and this has nothing to do with your relationship with the Lord. This has everything to do with you understanding that we operate on different planes. There's this plane down here, the spiritual plane, and even another one that's higher than this. Now down here, just like in the Matrix, when Neo and Morpheus was explaining the laws in the Matrix, there are laws down here that have no bearing on your personal proclivities, such as good or evil. Good person can use those laws to an end. Evil person can use those laws to an end. The laws don't give a damn. They are not like that chick, like, he ain't tall enough so I can't date him. The laws don't care. The law says, oh, you open up the door? Booyah, here you are. That's how it works. That's one of the reasons that I drill it in people's heads. Set goals, write them down, visualize. And I don't believe in like dream boards. I believe in dream videos. I believe in focusing on your goals. I believe in taking pictures. I believe if you want a certain car, go drive that bitch. Go to the dealership and say, look, I can't afford this car right now, but I want to drive it. Most salesmen are like, sure, if you go during the week. They don't give a shit. They're bored. But you have to learn how to ask for what you want. And how does this tie into the Meek will inherit the earth bullshit? There are so many people that are on that drivel bullshit that they can't even conceive asking for what they want, because they feel that certain things are in spiritual entitlements. That if you're a good person, then X amount of things are going to happen to you. I don't believe in karma, good karma, bad karma. I don't believe in that. I do believe in chaotic theory, and I do believe in cause and effect. If you do something, there's going to be an effect somewhere. It's going to happen. But, and all this is like, you do something bad. There are people out there who killed people and went on to have wonderful, happy, productive lives, got married, had kids, and, on that different spiritual plane, they may or may not have to answer. I can't say, but I know that a lot of murders go unsolved. And you're like, yeah, well, they're going to get it. And when they get to the gates, you know, St. Peter going like, I'm like, my big question, and this is going to be a mind fuck for many of you. If it was all that, why didn't St. Peter and crew stop the shit from happening? I'm like, I know I'm stepping on toes. I'm pissing people off because it's like, you're not supposed to question. You're not supposed to ask. You're just supposed to believe. You're just supposed to believe and put your hand on the Bible. Do you understand that church is one of the biggest manipulators of the masses since day one? All churches, from King James putting King Lord in the Bible. Don't believe me? Look it up. It wasn't there before he did it. That I'm telling you, look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look it up and be shocked and stunned into knowledge. Now, let's get on to my client. We're talking, and you know, he's like kind of wants to broach the service because, you know, I say sexist things here on YouTube. I do. I'll own up to it because I'm that kind of dude. But, you know, a lot of guys, in my opinion, are pussies when it comes to women. It's like, well, whatever she wants. Fuck that. Did she earn it? I mean, seriously, did she fucking earn it? If she didn't earn it, she didn't fucking get it. And when I say earn it, I'm talking about making your ass happy, whatever that takes for you to be happy. I don't put up with that shit in my personal life. I seriously don't. But anywho, just another tip. You will get more pussy by being an asshole than a nice guy. I'm here to tell you. But moving on, we're talking, and then he's kind of broaching the subject about the personal life. And I said, look, if you got an issue with your wife, you need to talk to her because I'm not getting into it. Even though I have a feeling what's about to happen. Because he told me that he was looking at a smaller house. And I was like, well, why would you get a smaller house? He's like, I'm not going to need as much room. Like I said, he's getting there because he's realized something. He realized his worth. This is the guy that you see out there whose wife is yelling at him in public. This is who this guy used to be a few years ago. He's changed. He's changed a lot. And I'm proud to say I'm glad to have him as a student. But you cannot be a successful business person being a meek pussy bitch. It's not going to happen. And this isn't to say that you should not be decent and kind to people. The two concepts are different. What I'm saying is, don't be a pushover. Don't be a pussy. Forget the meek will inherit the earth. You've been sold a bag of rotten tomatoes with maggots all in the center. So when you bite into it and you go, what the? Yeah, that's that maggot going down your throat because you bought that lie. The meek are not going to inherit the earth. There is no super balancing out plan where folks who got fucked are all of a sudden going to get, all right, I got to do something crazy. Hold on. I got to whip it. There's going to be this universal balancing of the books. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, people. It's not. So while you're sitting there sucking on that sip slurp of the meek will inherit the earth, I'm going to drop a few jewels into your old noggin. Number one, you can get whatever the hell you want. Money, pussy, house, car, whatever. If you have the audacity to put that shit on a piece of paper, come up with a plan, and keep working at it until it happens. Good doesn't matter. Deserve that shit doesn't matter. Will you show up on church every Sunday? Doesn't matter. You could be the most miserable person in the world. Well, actually, that's not true. If you understand the universal laws, you really won't be miserable because your life will be great. But what I'm saying is, this whole notion of being an angel and there's some type of nobility in poverty is ludicrous to me. It is absolutely insane because there is none. None whatsoever. Not a drop, not an ounce, not even a... Hold on. Let's see. Let these cars pass because I don't want to run into anybody. Okay, here we go. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And I'm being very direct and very forceful with this message because there's a lot of people operating on principles that will keep them not only poor, but it's going to damage your health. Because when you are working, 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week at some type of endeavor that doesn't really enrich you long term. And when I say enrich, I'm talking about in terms of knowledge base, money, experiences, meeting certain people. You are draining one of your most precious resources, and that is your health. I speak from experience. And actually, there was an asshole that had made light of the fact that I was laying fucking on my flat on my back for months, barely could breathe, barely go. That shit wasn't funny. It's a fucked up person that would even allude to that. But, that's how people are. But I learned from that, and I cherish my health, and I don't do stuff to compromise it. So, understand, you're doing all this stuff, you're working hard, and you don't have a plan, and you believe in that your payday is going to come as some Jesus God principle or some, it's not coming. And I have another question for you. Why do you want to wait for the good stuff when you can have it sooner? I left that pause in there, and I'll restate the question. Why are you going to wait to have the good stuff when you can have it sooner? And when I say soon, a matter of weeks or a few years, why wait? What is the purpose of waiting for glory? I'm listening. Now understand, I believe in God, but my relationship with God is totally different than everyone else's, because I believe we were all born with everything that we need to be successful in life. It is a matter of grooming ourselves, working hard on ourselves, doing the things that we need to do to be better as people, that will bring out those talents, that will develop those talents, and in turn give us the things that we desire in life. I'll state it. I was a poor kid. I was born in damn near abject poverty, in a house that did not have running water until indoor plumbing until I was 10, 11. Speech impediment, special ed kid. And my life turned around by getting a few books and really starting to believe in myself. Totally turned around in about 2.5 years. I'm talking from some very desperate circumstances. I'm talking homeless, talking living in the hood, talking that crackheads are my roommates. And on that note, there are many of you that look at this channel and scoff who've never been that fucking poor. And I will say this, I hope you never will, because based on some of the responses I see, a lot of you won't make it. You'll be the folks committing suicide, and I'm not making light of suicide, I'm stating facts, that there are people that just can't handle that type of harshness of life. So they check out or they turn to drugs. I think many of you who are whining about me being so direct are those type of people, and probably right now doing a little something, because one of the things that happens when you learn to deal with adversity, when you learn to smile in the face of fear, there are times that we will all be scared. There's times that I'm scared, but I don't allow that to stop me from going forward. That's the trick. Courage isn't wrapped up in this thing saying you're not scared. Courage is moving forward in spite of being scared. But I'm telling you this because we are about to go through some crazy technological changes. The information age is about to grow up in ways that I couldn't conceive. I'm seeing the writing on the wall. There was an article, and it was supposedly a typo, that some McDonald's owner had put in the ad that he wanted someone with a college degree to be a cashier. And maybe it was a joke, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was a typo, or maybe they were like, whoa, they weren't ready for the backlash. But mark my words, a few years, you're going to see that. You're going to see people will have to have college degrees for jobs that a 13-year-old can do with 30 minutes of instruction. That is the matrix for you. That is what's happening. And if you are not working hard, if you don't have goals, you don't have plans, all I can say is just go ahead and find yourself a log or chair, something that you can lean over. Just spread your legs, grab both cheeks. I think that will make it easier for the fucking that's about to happen in your life in the next 10 years. It's about to be stupid, insane, all these changes that are about to happen. And there are people who are sitting around with that, well, rich people don't have it that good. They're all drug. I live in a neighborhood with a lot of rich people. And I've been here almost 2 years. And I've gotten to know some people. And I'm telling you, a lot of them have fucking fantastic lives. A lot of them have great relationships with their wives, their kids, and other people. And a lot of them are very charitable based. They do a lot of stuff. So this whole notion of that, well, rich people have this, or they got their money illegally, or they did something crazy, that is just part of the narrative to keep you poor. That's part of the narrative to keep you that battery for the Matrix to charge up other people's power sources. Because you've got two choices. Either you gonna pimp or be pimped. Straight up. I know that's very icebergish, slimish, but it's the truth. Those are your two choices. That's the deal for you. Pimp or be pimped. And I'm not talking about hoes, and I'm not talking about street corners. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about mentally. Because mentally, there's a lot of people in society who are whores. They wear little red dresses and cowboy boots mentally on the corner, and they're turning all of their hard-earned efforts and money into either some boss pimp, a government pimp, an ex-wife pimp. There's a lot of folks who on the hoe stroll and don't even know it. I mean, it's a lot. So I want you to take heart. There's nothing wrong with being proud of what you've done. I get this comment all the time, and I'm actually going to own up to it. Glendon, you're arrogant. True. Glendon, you're a little conceited. True. Glendon, you think you're the shit. True. You know why? I've walked that journey. When I start a business now, I know it's going to be successful. I know. Only thing that's a little dicey is the timelines when I'm going to get to certain metrics. But I know it's going to be successful because I've built up that knowledge base. And this is the rub. If you pull that Meek will inherit the earth bullshit out of your mind, you can open up your mind to new possibilities. You can do stuff that some people will look at you a little crazy, but if that's in your heart, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Stop putting limits on yourself based on narratives that were designed to enslave you and keep you as a sheep. Think about it. Where is the nobility in being poor? Where is the nobility in being meek? I'm not saying be me. I'm not saying be arrogant. I'm not even saying being an asshole. I'm saying be confident and don't worry about what other people think of you when you do certain things. A lot of people are living lives of quiet desperation based on the expectations of folks who don't even know. Folks they don't even give a fuck about, and folks that when they go home forget about that person. That is the basis of what they're living their life on, these expectations placed by these people, whoever they may be, commonly referred to as they. Who the fuck is they? Who are these people that you're listening to that are running your life, and you don't even know why these rules exist, but you obey them with absolute loyalty because you're scared to color outside the lines? I'm telling you, this is your message from me to you. Meek is not inheriting the earth. No time soon. Not ever. So you got another choice. Are you going to be the Meek? Are you going to be the are you going to be the antelope, or are you going to be the lion? Which one? You going to be the wolf or the rabbit? What are you going to do? These are natural laws. This stuff happens in nature. It's not a popularity contest. It's just that's how it is. That's what happens. People are put in certain categories, and some never escape those categories. They never ever climb out of those circumstances. So just think about it. Just think about it. And for my client, he moved out this morning. And that's the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. How do I know? Because the credit card that he paid for a service, the address is different. He didn't tell me, but the address is different. I'm just like, wow. Wow. So understand, as you improve yourself, there may be some certain changes in your life that are going to be very, very difficult. You're going to be very difficult. It may be downright scary. Because, like I said, I don't believe in breaking up happy homes. I don't believe in breaking up bad homes. Like I said, I don't sleep in that bed. But just be careful. Listening to me, you may wake up and realize you have options that you didn't see before you heard of me. Just letting you know. This is a dangerous channel. There are some people that are building businesses. There are people building lives. There are people that have gotten their dating life straight. All because they dare to do the damn thing. All right. Another Easter egg at the end of the video. And I love doing this. Okay, these are the rules. These are the rules. Do not tell anybody what's at the end of the video. Do not put it in the comments. Don't even refer to it. And the reason I'm doing this, and I'll break it to you real quick, is I want soldiers. I want wolves. I want predators. I want lions. I want eagles in the Hustler Mindset Project. That's what I want. The energy there is starting to percolate. People are just like oozing confidence, and they're doing these things. And the reason is I've changed my customer base. Everyone is not my customer. Everyone is not suited for the hustler mindset. It's just not. It's some hard shit for a lot of people for certain reasons. So, this is the deal. If you want to come into the hustler mindset for $59.95, send me an email and put "I'm no Meek bitch." Go to storageauctionshogun.com, hit the message system, and put in the email, "I am no Meek bitch. I want in the Hustler Mindset Project, $59.95. And I'll send you an invoice, I'll send you the link, and you can get in. And it's just that simple. And remember, shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell them. All right, let me take this camera off my visor so I can see the lights. And I will see you on the good side.